Have you ever wondered how to grow your own potatoes at home? Welcome to our journey into the world of home gardening. Today we delve into the beautiful process of cultivating your very own potatoes. Imagine the joy of seeing your first sprout, the satisfaction of nurturing it, and finally, the thrill of harvesting your own homegrown produce. Growing your own potatoes is not only rewarding, but it's also surprisingly simple. So, are you ready to get your hands dirty? First things first, you need to gather your materials. To kickstart your potato growing journey, you'll require a few essentials. Let's start with seed potatoes. These are not your regular grocery store potatoes, oh no! Seed potatoes are certified disease-free, ensuring your plants have a healthy start. Plus, they're already sprouting, which gives them a head start. Next up, you'll need a home for your spuds. This could be a large container if you're limited on space, or a garden plot if you have room to spare. Either way, ensure it's somewhere with good drainage and plenty of sunlight. Then, you'll need potting soil. This is where your potatoes will get their nutrients from, so make sure it's high quality. And speaking of nutrients, don't forget compost or a good fertilizer. This will give your potatoes the extra boost they need to thrive and produce a bountiful harvest. Once you've gathered all your materials, you're ready to start planting. Now that you have everything you need, it's time to plant your potatoes. First things first, let's talk about the soil. Potatoes are pretty easygoing, but they do best in loose, well-draining soil. It's a good idea to mix in some organic compost or well-rotted manure to give your potatoes a nutrient boost. Dig a trench about 4 inches deep where you plan to plant your spuds. Next up, it's time to introduce your seed potatoes to their new home. Place your seed potatoes in the trench, eyes up, about 12 inches apart. Now why eyes up, you ask? Well, these eyes are the growing points where your potato plants will sprout. Now here's where a little bit of your personal touch comes in. Cover your seed potatoes with about 3 inches of soil. Don't pack it down too tightly. Remember, potatoes like loose soil. Next, water your newly planted potatoes, but don't overdo it. You want the soil to be moist, not waterlogged. Lastly, it's crucial to choose a sunny location for your potato patch. These plants love the sun, and they need at least 6 hours of it each day to grow happily. With your potatoes planted, the hardest part is over, but there's still some work to be done. Your potatoes are in the ground, but you can't just forget about them. Now comes the nurturing phase. Regular watering is key, especially during dry spells. Keep the soil consistently moist, but never waterlogged. Overwatering can cause your potatoes to rot. Feeding your potatoes is just as crucial. A well-balanced organic fertilizer will provide the nutrients your plants need to grow strong. Apply it once when the plants are about 6 inches tall, and again 3 weeks later. But it's not just about watering and feeding. You also need to keep an eye out for pests and diseases. Common threats include aphids, slugs, and potato blight. Regular inspections will help you spot problems early and take action before they can do real damage. Remember, every potato plant is a living thing. It needs your constant care and attention. But don't worry, the effort you put in now will pay off in the long run. With proper care, your potatoes will thrive, and before you know it, you'll be ready to harvest. After all your hard work, it's finally time to reap the rewards. Recognizing the right moment to harvest your potatoes is key. Typically, this is when the foliage begins to yellow and die back. Gently loosen the soil with a garden fork, being careful not to pierce your precious potatoes. Once unearthed, allow them to dry out in the sun for a few hours, but remember not to leave them out for too long, or they'll turn green. Now you've got 2 options. If you're eager to taste your homegrown spuds, go ahead and enjoy them fresh from the garden. But if you're thinking ahead, it's time to talk storage. Store your potatoes in a cool, dark place, ideally at a temperature of around 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure they're well ventilated and away from other vegetables like onions, which can speed up spoilage. Growing your own potatoes is a rewarding experience that can provide you with fresh, delicious vegetables for months. So why not give it a try? You might just find that you have a green thumb after all.